welcome back, everybody. No breaks here. We just constant action. We had like 2 minutes. It was time
No
well
time for
spent.
coffee.
No time for coffee
No time
either.
for coffee.
So if I'm grumpy in this one, that's why. And I'm not being deprived of the coffee that I need. However, I can't be too mad because we do have one of the best classic matchups that there is in the game of Flesh and Blood. No, who we got, Sean? Tell us who we got.
Oh, we've got a classic axe. Dory.
Okay, the axe part.
Maybe the axe bit isn't. But we have a Dory versus Katsu.
It's like the least classic part about the Dory. But we got a Katsu and a Dory. That's what I'm
Katsu and a Dory.
Katsu and Dory. What more could you want? You know, those are two heroes to be in the game since the very beginning. And it's a ninja. What more could you ask for? I mean, we're not going to show you the cards to watch because you guys at home, you must know the cards to watch.
Story.
Watch out for the axe and watch out for
Keep an eye out for the axes. Yeah,
we're going to go straight into the game because we are ready to roll. And let's get it up on the screen and see who we got playing. I think it is Nathan. We've had Nathan on the stream before. And I think it's Harrison. We also had Harrison on the stream earlier today too. Two players that we've seen. Two fantastic, talented players. Very, very good at the game. And taking it to the top tables here at the UK National Championship. Both of these players on 8-2. Oh, sorry. One of these players on 8-2. And Nathan Hill's on 7-3. Harrison wanting to... I think if he gets this win, he is basically locked for the top 8, so does want to secure this win here and get himself locked in the top 8 as soon as possible. And Nathan Hill's in 7-3, doesn't want to lose any more games. He needs to win the next 2 if he wants to go all the way with Dorinthia into the top 8 of UK Nationals.
Yeah, so I know we said we don't quite have time for cards to watch for this one, but I mean, Trip, as a seasoned Katsu player yourself, what cards are you really looking to utilize most in this matchup against Dorinthia here? Well,
in the old days, it was a tricky matchup into Dory. The value they could get with Dawnblade by continually hitting with Dawnblade and growing counters on it was difficult to break, especially as Katsu doesn't really have too much equipment loadout to play with. But now Dorinthia is running often running the Great Axe build to deal with Lexi at the moment in the format. Harrison's just going to really focus on just doing some powerful lines using things like Bonds of Eternity and to keep on pushing. Isn't Nathan 8-2? We'll get the studio to confirm if 7-3 is correct, and we'll get that updated if it is not. Otherwise, we will just keep on rolling. If they are both 8-2, they are both trying to get their win here to secure them in the top 8 of the UK National Championship.
Absolutely. So we're on
Thank you, Halfie. Halfie, I believe you're good mates with Nathan, so you probably know it better than most. We'll get that updated in due course. But right now, we're
second round of the day.
Yeah, second round of the game. Sorry.
And we've got one more after this before we cut to top 8. So both players looking to confirm their position in that top 8. Harrison opening up proceedings here with a Kodachi for 1, folks. Kodachi for 1.
Yeah, Harrison just pitching a red card back into the deck. Just trying to keep it simple. Turn 1. Nathan just sorting himself out with his pen and paper. So yeah, Sean, what we're trying to see here is we're looking to see Katsu really capitalize on some big combo lines. Harrison needs to bear in mind that Nathan is probably playing a much more defensive Dory build with a lot of cards to heal and block with, efficient cards to heal and block with, and Harrison needs to make sure that he respects that and that he is able to go over the top of what Nathan is trying to do with blocking. So that means Harrison needs to go really, really wide. He needs to use cards like Bonds of Eternity that allow you to push damage over multiple chain links. Probably doesn't need to worry too much about Dishonor. Though Nathan probably would like to swing twice with an axe, but might just be looking to block out here. Maybe pitch sack something late game and keep himself safe from any potential Dishonor threats. I do not believe that anyone is technically locked yet, Aaron. I mean, I think theoretically Harrison might, but we're not 100% sure if Harrison was to lose the next 2 games on 8 and 4, he might just scrape in at 8th, or he might bubble on 9th. So this game right here, as we understand it, Nathan Hills is actually on 8-2, not 7-3. This would be the first person to definitely be locked for the tournament. Yeah, as Quinn says, this game defines first lock. Yes, Jamie would be the one because he's on 8-2, did lose the game to Katsu. Very difficult matchup for his Dramai into Katsu. Classically difficult for Dramai to win that game, especially against a very seasoned player such as Harrison.
So we see Harrison here pitching 3 red cards in order to swing back with a Decimator Great Axe. Not a card we often see in Dory. The first time that it's played, the first time it's defended by a non-equipment card each turn, half the base of the target defending card, rounding up, presenting 4 damage. So over that break point, Harrison down to 37 here. Nathan, as you said, keeping life totals high, playing out that sigil. We also saw a Findle's Fighting Spirit pitched as well. So, and we can see another one in hand. So definitely looking to keep life totals high. Harrison Shaw pitching a Warmongers. Do you think Warmongers is going to see much utility in this game?
Yeah, Warmongers is really good because Nathan Hills is running a lot of non-attack actions. You see one right there, like Warrior's Valor, and he's going to want to do Warrior's Valor into his axe. And if you've played a Warmongers, that's not going to work. You can't. Yeah, you can either choose War, which is weapons and attack actions, or you can choose Peace, which is non-attack actions. So that would shut down anything that Nathan is trying to do. So Harrison might try to keep playing out the to get the Warmongers back into their deck, hoping to draw them on turns later on in the game if Nathan does decide to set up a big combo turn with the axe and some of the cards like Spill Blood and other axe base buff axe cards that buff axes that are in the game.
Axe buffs.
Axe buffs, indeed. And Harrison just doing a pretty standard Katsu turn there. Nathan making the good blocks. Did see him block the Be Like Water for 3. That's always a risky one when you can go over the top with an Ancestral Empowerment and potentially turn that onto a Surging Strike to start your combo line. So that might be something that Harrison wants to consider, is to try and get a relevant buff on one of these early cards so he can get his Katsu rolling. And the way Katsu works is the first attack action card that hits, you can discard a 0-cost card from your hand to search your deck your deck for a combo card. Jamie is not 9-1. He lost the last game of day 1, finishing 8-1 and top of the tables, and then he lost his first game today, so he is now on 8-2.
So Harrison here coming in with that 100 wins.
The trouble is, Dyson, is that Katsu is really difficult to fatigue because of Winds of Eternity. Sorry, not Winds of Eternity, because of Lord of Winds, being able to shuffle cards back into the deck. I do see that Harrison is not running Snapdragon Scalers, which is an option when you think you're coming up against an opponent that is going to try and fatigue you, because you can then just make yourself a little mini combo line and shuffle a bunch of cards back in. And we actually see something that I was just talking about earlier, wasn't I, Sean? Trying to get over the top with a little attack reaction. The Concealed Blade there, a nice new card, allowing Harrison to get the on-hit to then start building a combo from Descendant into Bonds of Eternity there.
So again, Descendant Gustwave, new card here from Dusk Till Dawn. And Nathan respecting it, covering it up with that Fate Foreseen. Has a little luck. And we're just going to put that to the bottom. So 3 damage blocked up here. Following up the Descendant Gustwave.
So Harrison going to be coming in for 4 and 4 here, 4 from the Bonds of Eternity into the Flusterfist for 4. Nathan probably going to be able to cover this reasonably well, though one of the cards in his hand is a Steelblade Shunt. Probably just going to keep that one and arsenal it and save it for the next turn to prevent a bit of damage. Yeah, these defense reactions really doing work. Harrison probably thinking to himself, need to try and go a little bit over the top here. Maybe he's going to get this Kodachi through.
Plays out Flusterfist. Nathan also just having to bear in mind, I know we've said he's going to be playing this defensively, trying to keep his life total high, but he's also having to respect that Mask of Momentum, right? It's always lingering in the background. 3 attacks hit in a row, 3 ninja attacks hit in a row. Then
Jody, unfortunately, the Hamish Dream is dead. He did lose the first round of day 2, putting himself on X and 4. With no shot at the top 8 anymore, but he is going to be playing to try and finish in the top 24 to try and make some moolah.
Yeah. Those monetary prizes trickle down all the way down to 24th. 9th to 24th, still walk away with $225. Without my calculator near me, that must be around 150, 180 quid. That should cover most of your weekend nicely. That's an awful lot of pizzas in Pizza Express, where we were last night. Harrison coming in with Kodachi, and then another Kodachi. Nathan taking both here. Mask of Momentum is now on.
Yeah, it's good to see Harrison has picked up the tunic here for this matchup. Much better into a longer game like this against Dory. Sometimes it's good to run the Heart cross strap to be able to play out these surging strikes for free, though of course you can only do it once. Sharif is indeed still live, won his first game of day one. Still gunning for that top 8.
Harrison presented Surgeon Strike here. 4 go again. Nathan.
He's going to put the Steel Blade Shunt out here on this. Covers it very nicely.
Covers it for 5. It's nice, right? Like you said, it blocks out the potential for Ancestral just to go over the top. Coming
Looks
in with
like
the Winds
Harrison
of Eternity.
is also running Winds of Eternity and 100 Winds in this list, so might be able to work in a little bit of recursion from that too if Nathan does try to deck out Katsu. This is the thing, it's not like a standard aggro deck with Katsu. It's not like Lexi where you can really just run them out of threats. Katsu does have a lot of ways to bring cards back into the deck from the grave, though of course they do deck themselves out a little bit as well through the nature of Katsu's hero ability. When you're if you're using a card to search a card from your deck, you're not only removing a card from your hand, you're also removing a card from your deck. So you do work through your deck a little bit faster than other heroes. So Harrison is going to want to be careful about how often he does actually trigger the Katsu hero ability if he is worried about Nathan trying to run him out of threats.
Dory swinging with that axe. Harrison says, I'll take it, and I'll present you with my 5-card hand. Opening up with Surging Strike. Coming in for 4 go again. Nathan having to think here. This is typically a lovely opener for a combo line. Nice wide combo line for Harrison. Is having to, again, just looking to block it out. Plays a Steel Blade.
Harrison going to go over the top here, yeah.
There we go.
This is the issue of blocking 4 for 4 against these ninja cards, is that the Ancestral Empowerment has maximum impact, not only getting the draw from Ancestral, but also meaning that Katsu can get his trigger off. So we're going to see what Harrison's going to be able to do here. He's now chainlink 1 hits as well. Going to try and do this in a way that he might be able to enable a Mask of Momentum draw. Nathan already committed his defense react from Arsenal and a card from hand, leaving himself with 3 cards left in hand to try and prevent this Katsu turn. Chooses to discard the 100 Winds. Probably going to search for the Whelming rather than the Descendant. Put another threat on hit. Does have the Breaking Scales if he wishes to use it. Has already blocked with it, so wouldn't be too much of an ask at this point. I'm going to try and make something happen here. Going to be coming in for 4 on hit, draw a card. Obviously Nathan very incentivized to block this for 4. Does have equipment with which to do, and also does have another Steel Blade Shunt.
Another one.
Looks like Harrison has the bonds in hand. That's going to break up the chain link, going to make sure that Mask is not, make it as difficult as possible for Harrison to get a draw off Mask.
So we can see both yellow and blue Steel Blade Shunts there.
Yeah, it's just such an
Nathan.
efficient card if you have it in large numbers, because if you're just pitching 1 card, but you're able to play 2 of them, or you're able to play 1 off a tunic, these Steel Blade Shunts are really good in these defensive warrior lists. Again, Harrison fetching the Fluster Fist. Going to come in for 4 and 4. Probably has enough resources to throw a Kodachi as well. it does look like a full dedicated axe list with a lot of defensive cards, a lot of steel blade shunts and defense reacts, used primarily to kind of dismantle Lexi, the most popular hero in the meta at the moment, but also great game into these other aggressive lists like Katsu and Fi, for example. Though both
Block.
Fi and Katsu capable of going much longer and going over the top of what Nathan is able to block. But so far, Katsu's not been able to develop anything.
Harrison finishing off the chain link here with a Kodachi for 1. Nathan looking at his life total again. Flusterfist on the end of the combat chain. 0 for 4. Life total's 31 to 33. We've still got 40 minutes on the round. That's plenty of time. Do you think either player here, Trip, is sort of sitting pretty? Are they still sort of feeling
It's
this
too early in the
out?
game to say. We're still sort of developing a feel for the game at this point. You know, we're not even sub 30 life yet. Just we're seeing, you know, Katsu do very standard Katsu things, going really wide, using their Kodachis and their Bonds of Eternity. The one thing I would note is that I think Harrison has now played out 2 red bonds already. So Nathan's probably thinking, I've lived through 2 bonds turns, not taking a huge amount of chip damage. He's sitting on 31, probably feeling relatively confident about that. A lot harder for Harrison to shuffle in Bonds of Eternity. The way Lord of Wind works is it shuffles in the other side of the combo line, like Megenshi's and Whelming, rather than Descendant Gustwave and Bonds of Eternity. Does choose to commit the first equipment block of the game. Nathan wanting to be, you know, use his equipment sensibly.
Nathan just pass, draws up to 4. Back to Harrison, takes up Tunic to 2. See what he's got here. He's got that card in Arsenal. Maybe I'll be able to utilize it just to produce another wide turn. Both players still feeling each other out. Seeing how this game is going to progress. Nathan has shown us as well. He's got a number of defense reactions. Both blue and yellow shunts, steel blade shunts, and fate for scenes, sink blows. And to keep his life total high. Harrison having a good think. Plays out another Surgeon Strike. Great combo starter. Coming in for 4 go again. As I said, gets blocked up by the defense reaction there. Fate for scene. I'm gonna fate that to the bottom.
Yeah, I think how I feel like I agree. How I feel like that's what we were saying earlier. It's really difficult to actually fatigue a Katsu, especially in the time, because of Katsu's natural ability to recur cards. So Nathan will want to think about setting something up using the more powerful cards that he seems to be running in his deck to do something to this Katsu. You know, keep swinging the keep swinging the axe. Sure, Katsu's probably not going to be blocking it anytime soon. But once Katsu does go down a little bit in life, try and do something with that.
Yeah. Harrison utilizing those Kodachis just to keep poking Nathan down. Now we're sub 30. Just simple axe for 4. We've always said it. We enjoy Bravo's hammer for 4. Now Dory axe for 4. Harrison takes it, decides to keep a 5-card hand here. I think I can see an Ancestral Empowerment in hand.
Ancestral's a little less good when you're coming in for 5 because it's so easy for your opponents to just block for 6 and then you don't go over the top with it. Like, it's so much better when you're coming in for, say, 4. Oh,
Pommel.
What is that doing in there? Some
Spicy
super spicy tech
Pommel.
from Harrison. Love to see it.
The
Why not
response
though?
from Nathan, smile on
Nathan
face,
does have
gets
it covered.
covered it up.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Interesting choice. I like the idea, but it is very easy for Nathan to color when he runs so many defense reactions. But I mean, that gets you thinking as Nathan, what is this guy doing when he's got a pummel in
Yeah.
his deck?
Makes you think twice, doesn't it?
That woke everyone up, right?
Yeah.
Pummel.
Okay, we're here for it.
Monka? Yeah, exactly. Shame it didn't really actually do anything. Because Nathan's got it so covered with his defense reactions. But you got to think in other matchups, that's going to be really spicy for Harrison.
Nathan says, nah. Axe
To be
for
fair, you
4.
can play it on Bonds, you can play it on Surgic. So he's got the CNC in there too. So
I mean, it may cause us to respond with an interesting face, but
I don't. Yeah, I don't think Nathan's too worried about that sort of thing because his deck is so well suited for blocking anything. He's probably just saying, well, I've got the perfect deck to deal with surprise things like that with all of the defense reactions I've got. Just gonna stick a sink or something in the arsenal or a steel blade shunt, and I can always be wary of something like that coming out. And that's exactly what we just saw. Although it was pretty cute, Nathan had it covered perfectly.
34 minutes on the round.
It was pretty
25,
good
25.
that Harrison was able to play that out.
Don't think I need that next coffee. That pommel did the trick.
I definitely do, but it's to their own.
We've got Kadachi into Descendant Gustwave here. 25-25. Blocked out with the Spores of War. Ends the combat chain with an Enlightened Strike for 7 here. Again, Nathan thinking about keeping life totals high, really utilizing, we can see red Steel Blade Shunt there, so really playing the full rainbow. Steel Blade Shunt. Takes 1. Down to 24. Harrison draws up. Sees an axe coming his way again. Decimated Great Axe coming in for 4. Axe for 4. Harrison saying he'll take it. And Nathan here utilizing Dory's ability.
Yeah,
and
just
those
swinging that axe
braces.
twice, using the
Axe coming in again.
using the braces to swing the axe a second time by giving it a go again. Just pushing a bit of damage here, and we talked about this earlier that Nathan's just going to try and get Harrison down a little bit lower. Going to try and close this game out, not necessarily going to try and fatigue him. Got Harrison down to 17 life now. But Nathan did take a bit of damage in order to do that. He's sitting on 24 too. But Nathan probably be able to stabilize a lot more easily than Harrison can. Nathan running off 3 blocks and good defensive cards. Harrison not got a huge amount of equipment block, got Tunic, got Boots, and got Mask of Momentum in a pinch, but not going to want to use Mask or Tunic until the very end of this game.
Harrison responds with a Be Like Water.
I think he's going to go over the top. Did I not say he would do that at the start of the game?
There
That's
we
what Ancestral
go.
Empowerment is. So he needs to be careful about just doing those 3 blocks against 3 attacks, especially against Be Like Water, because it's going to enable a huge turn here. Harrison probably going to turn this into a Surging Strike, and then use that to pop off this turn. And then also use Katsu's ability to fetch something useful. I think he's got 1 red bonds left in the deck, but he might need to pull the Descendant or the Whelming first.
So Harrison activating Katsu's ability here. Let's see what he chooses to fetch from his deck. As he shuffles. Interesting as well.
Takes the Spinning Wheel Kick. He probably doesn't... Maybe he has the Whelming, doesn't want to use his last bonds at this point. Or maybe he just... Oh, maybe he actually chose Twin Twisters here, trying to recur a card back into the deck. I quite like that, actually. So if he chose Twin Twisters, Spinning Wheel Kick will come into 5, and if it hits, it goes back to the bottom of Harrison's deck, giving him another threat to fetch later on. So it's not often that you see people using Be Like Water to turn into Twin Twisters. You normally just see them to use it to turn into Surging Strike and then build along Bonds of Eternity turn. But Harrison finding a way to make Twin Twisters work for him here with the Spinning Wheel Kick.
Harrison's really utilizing a number of different combo lines here, right? There's a bit of a Katsu with recent set releases has got a few different lines, a few different tools to be able to combat maybe some unusual matchups like an Axe Dory. Nathan able to cover that up with
He does have the other spinning wheel kick in hand. Going to come in for another 5. He's pushed 14 damage this turn already.
Oh, Nathan, hands on head.
Doesn't have a way of covering this. The spinning wheel kick will probably... Well, he does, actually. He can use his equipment. Nathan looking a bit upset about this turn of events.
Yeah, Nathan pitching a sigil there in order to use the steel blade shunt. Blocks out the spinning wheel kick. I mean, he didn't look particularly happy to do that.
Breaking scales. Yeah, he doesn't want to use his equipment at this stage.
Utilizes that Rage Forge bracers. Harrison here, 5-card hand. See what he's got. Coming in with Kadachi for 1.
Dan Green in the chat.
Dan Green in the chat. Chunks, my boy. Some things don't change, Dan Green. Katsu's one of them. Showing us, Harrison's giving us a bit of a lesson here in how to play this Katsu out. 8 and 2. Looking to secure his place in the top 8, as are both players. Nathan just comes out with a
pretty weak turn there from Katsu. It's really given Nathan a lot of space here to actually play out this attacking threat. Harrison will need to block this. I think Vinky really feels comfortable going down to 10. And does get 2 cards out of the Katsu here.
Fandle's Fighting Spirit allows Nathan to gain an extra life.
Harrison does
there,
have a nice hand
damage
here to enable something. Probably going to do Kadachi into CNC. Maybe has something in the... No, going to threaten that Arsenal card.
Kadachi.
Use the tunic counter here.
So blocking with the Fandle's Fighting Spirit allows him to...
both of these players are on winning ends. We're pretty sure that Nathan Hills is actually on 8 and 2, in which case both of these players, if they win this, they will make the top 8.
Command and Conquer coming in for 6. If it hits, will destroy Nathan's Arsenal. Can't play defense reactions to CNC. Nathan here just checking Harrison's graveyard. What would Nathan be looking for there in Harrison's graveyard?
Looking for bonds targets and like what threats that Harrison's already played, thinking about how much damage output Harrison can actually do.
Nathan just choosing to pass and draw. Harrison again, 5-card hand. 4 in hand, 1 in arsenal. Opening up. Pitches the Warmongers to harmonize Kadachi for 1. Nathan choosing to take it. Takes the second Kadachi down to 18. 27 minutes left on the round. There's still plenty of time. And comes in with another Command and Conquer. 2 rounds in a row. Asking the same question of Nathan. How much do you like that Arsenal card?
But Nathan pretty happy to block this with 2 cards, I think. They may be thinking about a pummel. We've already seen one. Maybe there's another
spicy pummel.
That might have been what Nathan
was
looking for.
Is there a spicy pummel? He's got 2 resources floating.
Yeah.
We've not seen the other one. It's not been pitched.
Going to use this crown on the Command and Conquer. Like we were saying earlier, really good use of the crown to make sure you don't lose your Arsenal card.
See if Nathan wants to block this damage out any further. I'm blocking that CNC out for 5 here. Maybe just having a little look at life totals. Having a good think about this one. Obviously, he's going to be able to activate that Crown of Providence as well. So he will be able to cycle a card from his hand or from his arsenal. Looks like he's happy with that. He's just going to sink his arsenal there. Draw up, taking 1 damage. And that's what sometimes... It's almost Schrodinger's pummel. Whether it's there or not, you still have to respect it. Life total is 17 to 16. Both players keeping things tight. Coming in with a finals fighting spirit. We said at the start of the game, Nathan's going to be looking to keep his life total high. We've seen a lot of defense reactions, a lot of these finals fighting spirits, and a lot of those sigils as well.
They're just good attacking cards as well, really putting the pressure on the Katsu. He wants to try and get the Katsu down low so that Katsu has to start blocking with cards, which is what we already seen Harrison start to do here.
Harrison blocking. Taking 1. Down to 15. As we can see, a number of the day 2 games behind Harrison there and began wrapping up. We'll be returning to that soon. As we have a look at how Harrison is doing here.
Good to see the table. Maybe we're having a little bit of technical difficulties because we're on the player cam. But no, we are back to the table. Just seeing Nathan going back with another finals fighting spirit for 6. Again, just pushing this damage when he can. Yeah, Harrison keeping his life intact for the big turn. Yeah, Harrison needs to make sure that when he's going for it, he's really going for it, and recognizing that Nathan can really efficiently block out his attacks.
Harrison blocking that one up with those boots, with those perch grapplers. Perch grapplers? That's not a ninja card.
Breeze Rider boots.
This is what will happen. This is what happens. Round 11, folks. Breeze Rider boots. Comes in with a Surgeon Strike for 5. Go again. 18 plays 10. 23 minutes left on the round. See, once again, covering up this attack. Do we know? Does Harrison have any more ancestrals?
I can't remember. We've seen 2 for sure. Yeah,
May have seen a 3rd.
We saw that he was running the concealed blades as well to also try and get that on hit with Katsu.
So, Descendant Gustwave coming in for 5 there. Nathan having a think once again. I mean, it was nearly 20 minutes ago that I asked you, Trip, if either player was sitting comfortably here, but what are we thinking now?
I think it's still to playful, to be honest. It's like, I mean, Harrison has worked for a lot of his deck, but he does have a big turn coming up here.
George, maybe just having a look. How many sigils Nathan has? How many of those defense reactions has he been through? Nathan playing very patiently here as well. Just assessing Harrison's graveyard for those threats. Nathan having a think. Checks his arsenal. Neither player have an awful lot of equipment left to utilize. Obviously, Harrison has that block with the Mask of Momentum, but it's not typically something that you'd like to use the block, right?
Harrison building a huge turn here.
So what do you think Harrison's gone looking for here? What's he?
Just something he can play out. He's got no resources floating. Oh, he is going to go for the dishonor play, which is good. Nathan probably needs to respect that. Might want to keep using his Dorinthia hero ability.
What is it? Dishonor.
It also comes in for
Then
4, and
does.
it means that their hero loses their hero ability. So Dory will no longer have their hero ability in play.
Ouch. Heroes typically like their ability.
Harrison's already committed 2 blocking cards here. Still got 1 block left on his Brayford Bracers. Probably doesn't want to be using his Tunic, but might have to. But if he uses his Tunic, then suddenly his Steel Blaze Shunts become a lot less efficient.
20 minutes on the round. 13 plays 10. Nathan giving this one a good think. How much would he be able to get through the rest of the game without a hero ability? Or is he really relying on that to be able to swing that axe multiple times? We've already seen him do it once in this game. Nathan giving it a thought here. Both players tunic on 1. It's ready to use it on a pinch.
Yeah, it's just disliking the damage, OG Quinn. Doesn't want to lose the hero ability just in case he is planning on doing a big finishing turn, but I agree at this point. Another 4 damage is pretty rough.
Nathan has the sink to cover it up. Harrison coming in for dishonor for 4 damage here.
I don't think he has a second bonds now, Fab Chaos. I think this is his third red care.
Uses
red
the
one.
Oasis Respite to cover it up. Nothing else from Harrison.
Just gonna ask the pass, I think.
Oasis Respite. Nathan's really stacked his deck with defense reactions and instances of Oasis Respite here. Nathan covered up a big attack there, Trip. How do you think Harrison's feeling after seeing that? Now he's got an axe coming
really
his way.
running out of threats now. I think he's used all 3 red bonds. He needs to start doing something with his maybe if he's got the Megenchi's line in. I did see some Megenchi's pitched. He needs to start switching it up, going for a slightly different combo line, maybe doing something big with Lord of Winds to try and go over the top of this Dory player. But Nathan just very happy to block out that turn very efficiently and even swing a hammer at the end. Going to take 2 damage here because of the effect of Decimator Great Axe. Harrison getting pretty low and not got a huge amount of space now to play out these big turns. He's got to do something with what he has now. Do you see an E-Strike in hand?
Yeah, absolutely.
Going to be able
Quinn.
to do something with that.
Nathan with
I have to say, Sean, like I feel like you've been asking like who do you feel is in control, and I feel like up until that last turn, I would say it was pretty even. Did I just say hammer? Sorry, Aiden. Up until that point, I'd say it was pretty even. But after seeing Harrison play out all 3 red bonds and Nathan just covering it like an absolute pro, now I'm thinking Nathan feels like he's in control, even though Harrison is the one throwing every single attack, having these 4-card hands. But Nathan is just throwing down these blocking cards and saying to Harrison, do what you want. I've got it covered. CNC coming down. This is the chance. If Nathan has a defense react in hand, he is going to take a bunch of damage here. If he has 2, he's going to have to take this whole 6. And is it Commentator's Curse? I think it is. That Command and Conquer going through. Nathan not being able to cover that. Clearly had some defense reactions that he was not able to cover that. And actually, that swung that game right round. Commentator's Curse indeed. After that turn, it looks so good for Nathan. But that Command and Conquer proving absolutely clutch when Nathan has got the defense react in hand. But you know what? Nathan's going to keep on swinging.
swings back with the axe. Axe for 4.
And that is not
Harrison
what
takes
Nathan
another
wanted
2.
at all. Nathan leads his life total high because he does not want to fall into Kadachi Rock risk. where Kadachi start to play a major part of this game. And hey, we've seen Harrison play a bloody pummel this game. 5 health is not a happy number when you know that your opponent might be hitting you with a pummel at any point.
Harrison coming in.
Still a differential, no more CNCs. Should feel safe now, but that was a good clapback from Harrison. You'd think, oh, CNC for 6, what's the worst that can happen? They just block it with 2 cards, but not when you've got defense reactions that you can't play against a Command and Conquer. Harrison thinking, maybe I'm back in this. There we go.
So that last hand then, double defense reaction. Couldn't defend the CNC. Coming in with a Kadachi.
Harrison just wants to keep pushing little bits of damage through.
This is tight, Trip.
Nathan now on 4. This is where Kadachi start to prove really strong. You think to yourself, well, Katsu's an aggro deck, but it has one of the best tools in the game for the late game. The fact that you can pitch a blue and hit twice, 1 and 1. You cannot cover that with 1 card. They've both played the match really well. I absolutely agree.
It's been a fantastic
but I have to think
round
to
11.
myself, what has Harrison actually got left in the deck? We've seen him pitch a few threats. Obviously, he shuffles with the Katsu ability, and we did see him pitch that Command and Conquer at one point. Really helped him out on that turn. But does he have the damage? And importantly, with Katsu, does he have the go again to actually threaten Nathan? That is the problem. When you run out of, you can run out of access to go again as Katsu. And this is where Nathan needs to be really, really careful about not allowing anything with that Breeze Rider boots. That is how Harrison could potentially still go over the top. If he lets one of these ninja cards hit, Breeze Rider boots, allowing Harrison to give his combo cards go again, he could make something from nothing. And when Nathan is sitting on 4, even those little hits for 2 could be game winning for Harrison. But Nathan, he did take a big chunk of damage that D did not want to take, though he is going to get this lovely heal from Oasis Respite here.
Oasis Respite goes up to 5.
And Nathan very happy to be swinging the axe again this turn. And hopefully developing, even better, an E-Strike. That's
E-Strike
fantastic.
for 7.
It is definitely going to draw a block from Harrison. He can't just take this. Well, maybe he's still got equipment, Harrison, but he's probably just going to block this out. But every card that Harrison blocks with is another card that he can't attack Nathan with. And at this point of the game, Nathan is very happy to play that kind of game. He feels confident that his axe is going to close it out. But Harrison needs to be really careful what he gives up. But he also needs to be really careful that he doesn't run out of life.
I mean, I think we've seen all 3 sigils now from Nathan. He's been using them when the opportunities arise to keep his life total high. This is so... It's suddenly changed.
What a fantastic game.
Very tight.
This has been... This truly is like...
round 11.
We're pretty sure that Nathan is on 8 and 2, and this really does feel like a game between 2 of the best players in the United Kingdom right now. Confident players, sensible players, respectful players. Really testing the depths of what each other's decks can do. Harrison here blocking for 2 right now. That would put him on... Oh, and he's going to throw the mask.
Oh, he's gone with the mask as well. He's saying, I need to keep my hand.
The thing is, he is now down to 3. He is in range of the hammer swing. Oh, no, Bonds blocks for 3. Forgive me. Guys, how does Bonds block for 3? That card is crazy. But Harrison is, of course, now in range of 1 swing of the axe. We'll need to respect that every time, but his blocks are so inefficient against that axe.
Okay, so we see Kadachi for 1. Kadachi for
Anthony,
1.
I do think it would have been an interesting play. I think at this point, he didn't Breaking Scales on the Dishonor because he doesn't really think that Dory's going to be swinging twice with the axe at this point. And I think Harrison needs to use that Breaking Scales to enable a Breeze Rider Boots turn. I think that's the main way that Harris can use the less good cards in his deck, is he needs to basically build a big hand of lots of different combo cards, and he needs to secure an on-hit to allow the Breeze Rider Boots to give his combo cards go again. And he might have to use Breaking Scales in order to do that. So if you're giving up the Breaking Scales on the Dishonor turn, that kind of locks himself out, because Nathan is so capable of blocking out everything that Harrison throws at him. And what a big hit here, coming in with the Finals Fighting Spirit. Harrison cannot take these 7s.
Coming in for 7. Allows Nathan to heal a life point as well. So quite happy to go down on life with one of those Kadachis, knowing he can clap back with a Finals Fighting Spirit.
And these Finals Fighting Spirits, like you say, Sean, are so good against these little Kadachi hits. Every time he gets a heal from the Finals Fighting Spirit, it's like he's blocking a Kadachi.
Yeah.
It keeps him safe, keeps him away from that Kadachi lock zone. And Harrison here having to give up his tunic, leaving himself with 3 cards in hand, 1 card in the arsenal, needing to try and push 4 damage through, but he does not have many threats left in his deck. Has he managed to keep something around in order to push enough damage through to go over the top of a 4-card hand from Nathan? A 4-card blocking hand. Nathan still got tunic, still got 1 block left on Brave Forge Bracers. This game's really coming into its own right now. This is the end game of this game.
This is it.
Harrison needs to think to himself, what can I do? How many defense reactions are left? How can I chip through enough damage to win this game?
Harrison having to really give it a think. Nathan's...
And yes, Callum, it is time. It is shunt time. Does Nathan have any shunts left in the deck? He's played a lot of them. Played a lot of them. If he does swing with that Kodachi, the shunt will close this game out immediately, dealing 1 damage to Harrison.
And we did see Nathan pitch a shunt to that Finals Fighting Spirit in the last round, so there's still plenty in the deck. We have seen
Nathan
all
having
red,
a look,
yellows,
probably
blues.
looking for Ancestral Empowerments, trying to work out if a 3-block is enough. Might choose to just cover this with his piece of equipment, just guarantee that Harrison is not able to build anything from this turn. The one thing that Harrison can fetch at this moment would be Winds of Eternity, comboing off this 100 wins to come in for 4. If it does hit, shuffling that 100 wins back in the deck, which Harrison would very much like to do. However, decision point for Harrison. I think he does have the Concealed Blade in hand, so probably will play this now to go over the top maybe? Or does he want to save it? But is it enough?
Maybe he's thinking about
Harrison
himself.
just checking. Harrison probably using his graveyard right now to check what he actually has left in deck. If he does go for the Katsu, he needs to make sure that he can find it.
Got time on the round here. We've got 9 minutes remaining. Nathan, 4 life total, but as you said, he's still got 2 blocks in his equipment. Harrison, 1 life total. This has been a fantastic game. 11th round. Both players really fighting to secure their position in the top 8 here at the UK Nationals 2023.
Yeah, going to come in with the Breaking Scales.
So Breaking Scales pumps the attack to 4.
He does have a Concealed Blade. Could pump it again to put Nathan down on 2, but Knight chooses to save it. Coming in with the Breeze Rider boots. I think he's going to search for Winds of Eternity here, and then he's going to try and maybe go over the top of the Concealed, unless he has to remove the Concealed from the game, discard the Concealed in order to do the search.
I did see a shunt there in Nathan's hand.
Yeah, needs to be really careful about these Kodachis.
He's maybe reserving it for if Harrison decides to come in with a Kodachi. Playing that shunt into a Kodachi will deal the 1 damage back to Harrison. So Harrison now really can't even use his weapons.
No, he's locked out of his Kodachis now by choosing to go down to 1 or being forced to go down to 1.
He's turned the Kodachi lock back round on him. Harrison really giving this one a think. As we come into the dying embers of this game. Both players in the arena.
Has to give up the Concealed Blade, sadly. He isn't able to use that to conceal another hit. Does fetch the Winds as I thought. Looks like it's all blue cards left in the deck. Very few cards. If this Winds hits, he will be able to shuffle that 100 Winds round. But if Sean was right, if there is a shunt, maybe we'll just use the shunt to shut down this Winds. I mean, he could 3-block this and use a piece of equipment to cover it out as well. As go again from the Breeze Rider boots. Gonna cover
Nathan
this.
blocks for 1 with the braces, and then 3 with a card from hand. Goes over with the other concealed. That's all 3 concealed with him now.
Down to 2. He is gonna be able to shuffle that 100 Winds back into the deck when the it goes immediately, and then he's gonna come in with the Kodachi, risking the Steelblade Shunt here.
Shunt.
And that's going to be that. Look, good to see that Harrison still has the Spinning Wheel Kick. Didn't really have the resources to play at that turn, though. Could have been
I was
huge
expecting the shunt.
if he had one more. He could have done it there. Does looks like he didn't have the shunt in hand, so was safe.
Ah,
Swinging the axe, Harrison really stuffed here. Probably going to have to give up 2 cards to block this. First card will only block for 2 because of the axe effect. Going to have to give up 2 cards. Harrison's barely got any cards left. I can't see how he's going to bring it back from here. Nathan down to 2. Shunt waiting room. Has to give it that 100 wins.
Harrison really
Immediately.
risked the shunt there.
But he just knows there's no other way for him to win this game. He's just got
has
to go for it.
Harrison just covering up these Kadachis now.
Nathan
covering up the
Nathan
Kadachis
very
now.
content to keep blocking these Kadachis.
Yeah, Harrison must be seeing the writing on the wall here.
Coming in for 4.
Magenchi's.
Nathan's still got the tunic with which to block with, so can cover this out with a 3 block, leaving himself with a card in hand to swing back that axe. Forcing another double block from Harrison. He's only got 5 cards left in his deck. He's going to have to use 2 of them here to survive, leaving him with 2 cards left. He probably has drawn into the spinning wheel kick now. Might be able to do Kadachi spinning wheel kick.
But for how much longer? Nathan's got shunts that are just
Dory
waiting
can do
to
this.
kill.
Dory can take this game down. Has to give up Magenchi's. 3 cards left in deck for the... 1 card left in the deck, 2 cards left in hand for Harrison. Going to be able to do something here, but it looks like Sigil in hand for
Nathan looking
He's got this
defeated.
covered. Sigil, the perfect card to deal with a double Kadachi.
Harrison looking defeated here, takes the 1.
Harrison, the game has gone out of his hands completely. Perfect answers here from Nathan. Perfect blocking, perfect
Sigil
plays.
goes up to 4.
Showing us how Axe Dorinthia can play, can win, can dismantle one of the best Katsu players in the UK. That is going to be game. I can't believe that. I can't see that Harrison can do anything now. 2 cards left in hand with Nathan going to swing that axe, and that's got to be it. That's got to be GG, and that is that.
Played.
What a fantastic game. What a beautiful game. What excellent plays from Dorinthia there. Katsu played it so well, managed to make something happen on that final turn, used the Breeze Rider boots and the Breaking Scales to try and go over the top. Looked like he was a couple of resources off maybe being able to play that spinning wheel kick. Maybe that would have been enough.
Wow.
But it was not. And
That was
Dory,
spectacular.
we are seeing Dory in the top 8. That was for the top 8 qualifying place of UK Nationals. Dorinthia is back, baby.
Wow.
She's doing great. She's being played like a master. And that was
Absolutely.
fantastic to see. Nathan and Harrison, that was such a fantastic game. Thank you so much for blessing us with that. This is going to be an absolutely stacked, fantastic top 8. I can't wait to see what other heroes make it into that.
Absolutely, and I'm sure we'll be bringing you the standings from the 11th
I'm so
round.
excited about that game. I've undone my 2 buttons. Well, one of the buttons. You know, I got fix up, look sharp. I'm back on camera. I didn't even see. Sorry, folks at home, for giving you a flat for that. But what a fantastic game. That was an absolute... Oh, man, we're getting to the point now where you just got to stick around, guys, because it's just... These games are insane. These games are being played at such a high standard. The quality of games in the UK is just incredible, Sean.
Oh, and we're seeing that. I mean, Nathan's just given us an absolute masterclass there with an axe Dory. I mean, we said it was a classic battle between Dorian and Katsu there, but I mean, recent additions with that, with the great axe, as well as with some of those new lines in Katsu as well, just means that that game plays out like we've not seen before. And that was an absolutely spectacular game. For what, 30-40 minutes we were back and forth. I was asking you, Trip, who's in the driver's seat? We're not sure. We're still they're still both feeling each other out, and it just got down to it where Harrison just ran out of threats, right? He was just, and Nathan just soaking up everything,
Yeah,
keeping his life total
I
high.
think against that Dorinthia, you might need to, and it might not be in Harrison's list, but I think you need to do something like run the Snapdragon Scalers, try and do a mini. You can do a mini Magenchi line where you just you do Magenchi in Snapdragons into Lord of Wind, try and shuffle some more threats back into the deck, try and do something big with Lord of Wind, with Winds of Eternity. We did see Harrison try and do that later on in the game, shuffle in that 100 wins, but then he just had to block with it the following turn. It was no good. So unfortunately for the Katsu player, for Harrison, did manage to get the win there. Hopefully he can get another one, come back to the top 8, give us another strong showing of Katsu.
Absolutely.
But what a fantastic game. We're going to go to a little break there before we move on to the next one. It was another long one, guys, and hopefully we'll have
And
another
stick around for the
fantastic game.
standings as well. We've got
Yeah, we've got
standings coming up for you as well.
And we will now move to a break, and we will be right back with the last game of the Swiss. Those 2 games have gone by like a... Was that the second
incredible.
game? Was that the second
That was
game?
incredible. What
These
a
games have gone
day.
by like a
Stick
flash.
around.
So stick around. We've got
Stick
another
around.
fantastic game coming up for you very shortly.